So Daryl Morey said that Thybulle has been the most consistent player in Camden all offseason, putting in countless hours. I think they specified into Matisse, Tyrese, and Paul Reed. No one outworked them at all this offseason, which is great to see the young guys getting in the work. Matisse probably hearing our podcast here in Teja saying he needs him to shoot a certain percentage. Maybe that's what it is.
But sleep over that.
But Morey also spent a portion, Matisse spent a portion of his offseason working out with Damian Lillard and renowned shooting coach Phil Beckner and DeRozan. So with the lack of wing defenders on the team, are we all underrating just how important Matisse is to this team's success this season? Eric?
Oh, you want me to go first?
we can have Teja go first because this is his guy.
I can go. Look, I've said it before, and Teja kind of gives me a side eye when I have said, "Don't be surprised if he's your starting three." I said that.
You have said it a lot.
I did say that. Yeah, I've said that. So, I can say if the work that he's put in, I think hopefully it's very beneficial for him. But I think if his growth is really well, it could be a terrific blessing for the Sixers. Terrific blessing. Not just the growth from obviously for Teja being a higher 3-point percentage shooter. But also being an even more consistent defender, being more versatile. Just because you're a good defender doesn't mean you can't improve. So he can improve on that. I think you improve on his confidence.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think if he can do those things and he can be more consistent with it, and I'm not sure if starting will help him for that or not. But I do know that he seems to be excited about going this season and what he could bring to the table. So hopefully it does, translate for him, and he's able to increase his play going forward.
Yeah. Teja, there was also a tidbit too. This was a question that I was like, is that Teja at the press conference? Or is the question was, is there a specific target percentage that he wants to shoot this year? And Matisse said 100% is what he said. And I was like, oh, okay, Teja's going to love that answer.
He's going to be excited.
Aim for the stars, hit the roof, and roof hopefully is above 31. I agree too. I think defensively, I was thinking about this too. It's like, he's so good at pursuing the ball when it passes him. I almost think that's like his strongest part of his game is attacking someone once they've driven by him. He's so good at tracking the ball. It's one of the best. I think he's one of the best at it in the NBA, period. I wish he'd get better with the player in front of him with the on-ball defense. But for all the crap I've given Matisse, I think, I mean, I was listening to Zach Lowe and Bontemps show last week, and they had a really long segment on the Sixers, and their biggest concern for us this season was wing defense. Do you have guys who can guard Tatum and Brown in the series? Matisse could be that guy, but they both dismissed him really quickly because they said on offense we play 4-on-5 because he can't dribble, he can't shoot, he's not a player out there pretty much. And it was great to hear him say not only did he work on shooting this season, he worked on a lot of ball handling. Because I noticed a lot of times when Matisse gets a steal, when he gets a loose ball, kind of craps his pants a bit. He doesn't know what to do with the ball. He just flips it up in the air, and it's like, dude, what are you doing? Just give it a second. I'd rather have you take a second and let the defense catch up to you and get it to the right guy rather than just flip it up in the air to try to save time on a fast break. So it's nice to hear that he knows exactly what he needs to work on. But yeah, I mean, if he can get his shooting and ball handling up, I don't see why he couldn't start at 3. His 3-point shot again. 30% last year, 31 the year before.
Yeah, I don't.
It's not enough.
Him improving the way he wants to and the way the team would like him to is more important than starting because he's still in a position where he could play significant minutes if the improvements are there. And I don't
if he looks that good to the point where they feel like they have to start him, that's great, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think if they're going to start him, and they're definitely going to start him, it's because you see that the value of starting him and you see the value of increasing his minutes.
Yep. Yeah. His rookie percentage was 36. If he can get back to that or even meet halfway between 31 and 36, give me like 33 and a half. That'd be great. I mean, I think
you just know, and I'm sorry for cutting you off. I'm just saying you know now, having James and having, Joel and, two more offensive guys, in the starting lineup, that you're going to get open looks.
Yeah.
That's why I said the confidence is a huge piece of it. You could put in all that work, with that, that hard work and then that repetition. But if the confidence don't meet that, you just working hard and repeating the same thing, but you're not believing that you can do it. So that's why you see a lot of guys that do all that hard work and do all that repetition to get in the game, and that popcorn start popping, and it's different.
Mm.
Which is funny when you're teammates with Joe and Harden, because people always make fun of guys' videos when they post shooting jumpers in an empty gym, and it's like, oh, well, that's not a game situation, and there's gonna be a guy in his face. With Joe and Harden,
it's still
a game. It's still live.
You're gonna get shots. It's just the confidence is huge when. And we've seen it with other players, and I know personally, when teams are making you the guy to shoot based on their defense, we're going to allow you to shoot. We're going to leave you wide open.
Pressure's on.
And I believe, especially if he's in that starting lineup, that's going to come, and that's going to come early and often. Are you ready for that? I know when my first time starting in the playoffs, I was going to the game. We were playing at Orlando, and Mo Cheeks came to me, and maybe, I don't know if it was the day before the game or the day of the game, and he was like, they're going to leave you wide open. You got to shoot it. You got to shoot it and just make it. Don't run away from it. You got to shoot and make it. And by him telling me that, it kind of prepared me for that moment. So I had that in my mind, they're gonna try to leave me wide open. I mean, the first pass of the game, I threw the AI, and Penny Hardaway just took off and went to double Allen. Just right away. Allen threw it back, and Penny just looked at me. I didn't even try to run back and recover. He just looked at me. So they were basically like, well, you want this? And I stepped right in there and made the shot, and it was like, boom. It was like I was good. Oh, I know how to play now. I got this. Oh, that's what y'all gonna do? I'm stepping right in. I'm ready for that. But having someone kind of like give me that heads up almost.
Green light.
Was like all you needed to kind of be like, not only really for the confidence, but it's really to just be ready for it. And the same thing happened like my first year in Cleveland. The first year we went to the playoffs. So we went to the playoffs. First time we went and we played Washington. And I can remember telling LeBron, like, hey, man, they're gonna double you off the bus. So you gotta be ready. You're gonna have to, trust it. You have to throw us the ball. Like, we don't make them, it's gonna be on us. Mm-hmm. But I'm telling you, they're gonna double you off the bus.
Mm-hmm.
And they did. And him being LeBron, he, finding everybody, and we were knocking down shots and we beat him. So game 2, it was like, hey, we kind of heard them, so they're gonna come in, they're gonna mix it up. I'm not saying that they're gonna W every time. They're gonna play games with you. They may double off certain guys, they may, stunt, they may act like they're gonna double and then come back to kind of get you off balance, but they're gonna change it up. And they did, and they beat us. And it was sort of like we were off balances based on like what they were doing. It was kind of taking us a minute to figure it out. And they played better than we didn't, but we ended up winning the series. But I'm just saying, like, the game of the playoffs is, I'm starting to see that more in the regular season on certain teams, certain games where teams are coming in. It's something that may hold for the playoffs. They're coming in like, no, we're going to make him shoot today. And I think that's going to happen with him.
Yeah.
Thybulle immediately. I think because I personally think there's so much parity in these leagues that I think the teams are going to come in and we got to win games, about tiebreakers, that they're going to kind of use some gimmicks that they would probably hold. But more teams are doing it in the playoffs. I mean, in the regular season, which means that if it works, guess what the next team's going to do?
It's good prep for the play. It's good prep for the playoffs.
Yes.
So it's a good thing they do it. I mean, and he, Thybulle's been here throughout the Ben Simmons years. He's heard all the just shoot it stuff. So
it's different. It's great to hear all that, but it's different when it's you.
Yeah. I'm sure all the heat on Simmons actually took pressure off of Thybulle. He's like, well, what about him? He's not shooting. So it's like,
Thybulle. I mean, he got heat. Like we're fans, and you got all this heat on.
Yeah. I want him to be on the court more, and that's going to be unlocked by him being somewhat of a threat to hit an open jumper. I just, I want him to be there. I want him to be that guy.
Open three. Yeah, that's what it is now.
Yeah, open three.
Yeah, just
30. Give me 30.
Specify that.
33.5. Give me 33.5%.
Yeah, that's what analytics. I tell you, that's what analytics say. 33.5.
Yeah, and that's right in the middle between his rookie season and like now. So it's like right there, just the middle between your best and your worst. There you go.
So once he shoots 33.5, you leave him alone.
Yeah.
He said 33.5.
If his defense still looks the way it's been, yes. Yeah. Well, because if he takes 33.5 and then becomes a open door defense and no, not anymore. But
he's not gonna take that. He's not gonna take a step back on defense like that.
I would hope not. Here's another question while we're on Thybulle. If he's like 30 again, is he like? I mean, we tried and take it easy. I mean, like if he's like 29, 30%. Just not. I mean, open jumpers missing him.
Yeah, I don't know if getting rid of him is the answer. I just think that maybe his role is diminished.
But he's just not that guy. Like, okay,
his
that ain't going to happen in Philly.
His role is diminished. Is almost like sort of the other reserves you had, where they sort of become just more
matchup
true and more defined role players.
Damn, and he loses value too.
If it goes like in your example. That's you become more of a.
To find the volume of this device, just ask.
You hear that?
What's your
so which one of y'all say something about Google?
To turn the volume up or down, tap the right or left side of the speaker.
No, Google.
That's good.
That's
dude. All over, man. That's
if I said something, they pray. If I said, "Hey, Google," no, I shouldn't say that. I'm sorry. It's going to answer me.
You're gonna be getting Thybulle updates all season from Google.
Yes.
Thybulle hit a 3. Maybe I need that.
Look, I got all those things. Don't even know how to work all these gadgets, man.
One other thing that Thybulle said yesterday, because I believe the year that he won Defensive Player of the Year at the Pack, Melton was like really close to getting it, and so apparently that's something that him and DeAnthony still talk about. Is that Defensive Player of the Year award in the Pack? So
yeah,
hey, if those two, if Thybulle's not starting, he's come off the bench. Him and Melton off the bench. That's a nice dynamic defensive duo right there.
Yep.
I like that.
We'll see.
We can mix and match.
We'll see. And Teja, okay, so your question, the hypothetical you said about Thybulle becoming a 30% three-point shooter, if he's dropped a little bit on his three-point percentage, what if he becomes a better on-ball defender, though? No? That wouldn't do anything for you?
I mean, man, 29% from 3 in the playoffs, that's like, again, like they said on that show, it's 4 on 5, man. Like, it's not – man, you need to be one of the best defenders in the league to still get those minutes if you just can't hit an open jumper.
Yeah.
You got to be a threat, right? You got to be a threat.
Yeah.
And just seeing where you were with the Thybulle hypothetical.
Yeah, I mean, let's hope. Let's
yeah.
hope.